The Great Escape, 1963, is more than just a war film. It's a timeless cinematic masterpiece that brought together some of the most legendary actors of the era. With its gripping storyline, unforgettable performances, and iconic motorcycle chase, it became a symbol of bravery and resilience. But behind the scenes, the stars who brought this story to life lived through their own personal battles. In this video, we look back at their remarkable careers, the roles that defined them, and the real-life tragedies that followed. Join us as we pay tribute to the stars of The Great Escape who are no longer with us, but whose legacy lives on in this unforgettable classic. Steve McQueen was born on March 24, 1930, and portrayed Hiltz, the Cooler King, in The Great Escape, 1963, at age 33. Hiltz was the quintessential rebel, cocky, daring, and irreverent, known especially for his iconic motorcycle jump that epitomized his fearless spirit and disdain for captivity. Off-screen, McQueen's life was a whirlwind of excess and turmoil. Known as Hollywood's King of Cool, his love for fast cars and motorcycles was matched only by his tumultuous personal life, riddled with drug abuse, volatile relationships, and constant clashes with directors who found him difficult and uncooperative. Behind the glamour, McQueen struggled with deeper issues, including alleged infidelities that fractured his marriages, and a growing addiction that shadowed his career highs. His reputation for manipulating co-stars to secure his spotlight was whispered about but never openly confirmed. Despite his rugged charm, McQueen's health deteriorated due to mesothelioma, a rare cancer linked to asbestos exposure. He died on November 7, 1980, aged 50, following a heart attack after surgery. Richard Attenborough was born August 29, 1923, and took on the role of squadron leader Roger Bartlett, Big X, in The Great Escape at age 40. Bartlett was the embodiment of quiet strength and tactical brilliance, carrying the heavy burden of leadership with a stoic grace that anchored the film's narrative. Attenborough's own career, though highly celebrated, was shadowed early on by professional frustrations, typecast in certain roles, battling industry skepticism, and facing harsh criticism for some of his directorial choices before his eventual acclaim. Privately, he was a man of strong convictions, sometimes clashing with producers and peers over creative control, which revealed a stubborn streak not widely publicized. While free from major scandals, Attenborough's humanitarian work sometimes masked the immense personal sacrifices he made, including time away from family and relentless professional pressures. His death on August 24, 2014, aged 90, from complications after a fall closed the chapter on a storied life that bridged acting, directing, and activism. James Garner was born April 7, 1928, and played Henley, the Scrounger, in The Great Escape at 35. Henley's quick wit and resourcefulness made him indispensable in the POW escape efforts, reflecting Garner's own charisma and resilience. However, Garner's journey was far from smooth. Legal disputes with studios over contract rights and creative control nearly sidelined him multiple times, painting a picture of a man fiercely protective of his work but sometimes difficult to work with. His personal life was marked by instability, including a turbulent first marriage and rumors of extramarital affairs, though he mostly avoided public scandal. Garner's military service in the Korean War added a layer of complexity to his character, contributing to his advocacy for actors' rights later in life. His persistent battles with Hollywood power brokers showcased a man unwilling to be exploited, yet these struggles often cost him roles in industry goodwill. Garner died on July 19, 2014, aged 86, after a heart attack, remembered as a principled and enduring presence in American film. James Donald was born May 18, 1917, and portrayed Group Captain Ramsey, the SBO, in The Great Escape at age 46. Ramsey's calm, authoritative demeanor and unshakable command provided the backbone of morale for the imprisoned soldiers. Donald's career, though steady, was not without its shadows. He often found himself pigeonholed into cerebral roles and struggled to maintain relevance as Hollywood shifted its focus. His personal life remained largely private, but there were murmurings of familial estrangement and a retreat from the public eye into winemaking, suggesting a man quietly wrestling with the isolation fame sometimes brings. Unlike many contemporaries, Donald avoided scandal but paid the price with a career that faded earlier than deserved. He passed away on August 3, 1993, aged 76, from stomach cancer, leaving a legacy defined by dignity but tinged with the melancholy of lost opportunities. Donald Pleasence, born October 5, 1919, played Blythe, the forger, in The Great Escape, 1963, at age 44. Blythe's character, a gentle yet tormented figure whose failing eyesight symbolized fragility, echoed Pleasence's own real-life experiences as a World War II RAF pilot and POW, lending his role a haunting authenticity. While Pleasence built a reputation for intense, often sinister roles, his off-screen life was shadowed by deep personal struggles. Known for his eccentricity and bouts of paranoia, he faced periods of severe depression that alienated friends and family. His second marriage was notably troubled, marked by emotional volatility and frequent public disputes. There were rumors of heavy drinking during times of creative and personal crisis, contributing to a reputation for being difficult to work with. Despite these shadows, Pleasence avoided major public scandals, quietly battling his demons until his death on February 2, 1995, aged 75, from complications related to heart valve surgery. Charles Bronson was born November 3, 1921, and played Danny Valinsky, the Tunnel King, in The Great Escape at age 42. Danny's role as the haunted, claustrophobic digger brought a raw emotional depth to the film, mirroring Bronson's own reputation for intensity and secrecy. Bronson was famously difficult, with a volatile temper that led to numerous on-set conflicts, including physical altercations and clashes with directors, yet he rarely made headlines for scandal, preferring to keep his personal life under wraps. Behind the scenes, he struggled with heavy smoking, drinking, and a guarded personal life that shielded a complicated man battling inner demons. Despite this, Bronson's rugged persona became an icon of 70s action cinema, though his tough exterior hid a man often isolated by his own harshness. He died on August 30, 2003, aged 81, from complications of lung cancer, COPD, and heart failure, ending a life marked by both legendary grit and private turmoil. James Coburn, born August 31, 1928, portrayed Sedgwick, the manufacturer, in The Great Escape, 1963, at 35. Sedgwick's laid-back inventiveness mirrored Coburn's real charm but belied a tempestuous private life rife with scandal. His early career was interrupted by a near-fatal car accident, leading to chronic pain and an escalating addiction to painkillers and alcohol, which fueled a reputation for unreliability. Coburn's personal life was marked by volatile marriages and rumors of affairs that fractured relationships and caused public scandals rarely aired in full until years later. His dedication to martial arts under Bruce Lee was partly a bid to regain control over a spiraling lifestyle. Despite a career resurgence capped by an Oscar, whispers persisted of on-set bullying and diva-like behavior, straining relationships with colleagues. Coburn died November 18, 2002, aged 74, from a heart attack, leaving behind a legacy mingled with brilliance and chaos. David McCallum, born September 19, 1933, portrayed Ashley Pitt, Dispersal, in The Great Escape, 1963, at 30. Ashley Pitt's calm and resourceful persona masked McCallum's private battles, including a painful and very public divorce when his first wife left him for fellow actor Charles Bronson, a scandal that shocked Hollywood and brought unwanted media attention. Though McCallum maintained a polished and professional front, sources close to him revealed a more aloof and sometimes cold personality, reportedly difficult in some professional relationships. Behind his long-standing successful career, McCallum struggled with loneliness and occasional bouts of depression, exacerbated by personal betrayals and the pressures of maintaining a public image. Despite these challenges, he avoided any major scandal, consistently earning respect for his work ethic and intelligence. He died on September 25, 2023, aged 90, from natural causes, leaving a legacy of resilience through private adversity. Hannes Messemer, born May 17, 1924, embodied Colonel von Luger, the Commandant, in The Great Escape, 1963, at age 39. His cold, authoritarian yet nuanced portrayal reflected his own World War II experience as a captured German soldier, but Messemer's personal life was riddled with conflict. Known for his volatile temperament, he had a history of acrimonious divorces and was embroiled in scandalous accusations ranging from infidelity to emotional abuse. His professional career was marred by repeated clashes with directors and producers, including a notorious on-set altercation that led to him being blacklisted in parts of the German film industry. Colleagues described him as brilliant yet impossible to work with, prone to fits of rage and self-destructive behavior. His later years were shadowed by alcoholism and social isolation, exacerbated by the decline of his career. Messemer died of cardiac arrest on November 2, 1991, aged 67, a tragic figure whose real-life struggles rivaled the intensity of his performances. Gordon Jackson, born December 19, 1923, portrayed MacDonald, Intelligence, in The Great Escape, 1963, at 40. MacDonald's loyalty and integrity on screen contrasted with Jackson's less visible personal turmoil, particularly in his marriage to actress Rona Anderson, which was reportedly marked by jealousy, emotional withdrawal, and periods of coldness. Despite a steady and scandal-free public image, insiders noted his growing frustration with the film industry's demands, sometimes expressing bitterness in private. Jackson struggled with chronic pain related to the bone cancer that would ultimately cause his death, and he endured long-term battles with health that affected his mood and performance. His commitment to professionalism often masked a deeper emotional isolation and a desperate desire for privacy away from the public eye. He passed away on January 15, 1990, aged 66, from bone cancer, remembered for his quiet strength amid private suffering. Nigel Stock, born September 21, 1919, portrayed Cavendish, the surveyor, in The Great Escape at 44, a steady and methodical officer essential to the escape plan's logistics. Stock's career was distinguished, but his personal life bore the scars of volatility. Twice married and twice divorced, his relationships were marred by accusations of emotional neglect and controlling behavior. Stock struggled with heavy drinking, which exacerbated tensions at home and on set, where some colleagues described him as unpredictable and difficult to work with. His gambling addiction further complicated his financial and emotional stability, leading to secretive and sometimes reckless decisions. Despite his military background and polished public image, whispers of personal scandal shadowed his later career. Stock's sudden death from a heart attack on June 22, 1986, at 66, cut short a life filled with unspoken battles beneath a veneer of professional success. Angus Lennie, born April 18, 1930, played Ives, the Mole, in The Great Escape, 1963, at age 33. Behind the scenes, Lennie's career was marked by persistent typecasting in whimsical or minor roles, leaving him frustrated and often overlooked for leading parts. His personal life was fraught with hardship, his marriage ended in a bitter divorce, and his relationship with his son was strained due to years of emotional distance and his son's struggles with addiction. Lennie himself battled bouts of depression and alcoholism, which he managed to keep largely hidden from the public, but that took a toll on his health and friendships. Though well-liked professionally, those close to him noted his occasional volatility and cynicism, which clashed with his public warmth. Despite avoiding major scandals, rumors circulated of tense on-set conflicts fueled by his resentment toward the industry's pigeonholing. Angus Lennie died quietly on September 14, 2014, aged 84, following health complications that were kept private. Robert Graf, born November 18, 1923, was cast as Werner, the Ferret, a young German guard who exhibited sympathy toward the prisoners in the Great Escape at 40. Graf's performance added a layer of humanity to an otherwise harsh figure, but his real life was steeped in turmoil. Known for a magnetic charm that opened doors, Graf was also infamous for a temper that erupted into violent incidents, including a notorious drunken assault on a fellow actor. His marriage was fraught with infidelity and public scandal, and he faced allegations of domestic abuse that tainted his reputation in the German film community. Struggling with alcoholism and volatile mood swings, Graf's behavior increasingly alienated collaborators, threatening his rising career. His untimely death from cancer on February 4, 1966 at just 42 left a shadow of what might have been. His son Dominic later confronted these dark family legacies through his work in film, revealing layers of pain and regret. Hans Reiser, born June 3, 1919, took on the role of Herkun, a cold, bureaucratic German officer in the Great Escape at 44, embodying the impersonal efficiency of the Nazi regime. Reiser's long career in German cinema and television was overshadowed by dark rumors about his political sympathies during and after World War II, which led to professional isolation and suspicion in post-war Germany. Off-screen, he was known for exploitative behavior, particularly toward young actresses, with whispered accusations of harassment and intimidation that the industry quietly suppressed. His colleagues described him as abrasive and egotistical, prone to fits of rage exacerbated by heavy drinking. These traits created a toxic work environment, with reports of manipulation and bullying that went unspoken in public. Though he maintained a low profile, Reiser's legacy is marred by these shadows. He died on June 14, 1992, aged 73, his life ending amid lingering questions about the cost of his ambition and conduct. Jud Taylor, born February 25, 1932, played Goff, a minor American POW in the Great Escape at 31, before rising to prominence as a television director. Taylor's career was marked by significant achievements, including leadership roles, yet beneath the surface lay a personality fraught with ambition and manipulation. He was reportedly ruthless in his professional dealings, engaging in backroom politics and undermining rivals to secure his projects and accolades. His personal life mirrored this turbulence, with multiple marriages punctuated by affairs and emotional manipulation that estranged him from family members. Colleagues recounted his bullying leadership style, which earned him both fear and respect in equal measure within the Directors Guild. Despite a polished public image, Taylor's private dealings were often marked by controversy and interpersonal conflict. He died on August 6, 2008, aged 76, leaving a legacy of creative brilliance shadowed by his controversial character. William Russell, born November 19, 1924, portrayed Soren, a minor POW in the Great Escape at age 39. His character, though small, was a quiet presence of resilience and intelligence amidst chaos. Off-camera, Russell's public image is the original Ian Chesterton of Doctor Who concealed a turbulent private life rife with turmoil. Behind his long, scandal-free professional facade lay decades of bitter disputes with producers and colleagues, some turning public during heated contract negotiations that exposed his notoriously difficult nature. His multiple marriages ended in messy, public divorces, with children estranged over years of neglect and clashes fueled by Russell's obsessive work ethic and bouts of alcoholism. Despite his esteemed stage reputation, he often grappled with loneliness and depression, compounded by the loss of close friends and repeated career setbacks later in life. William Russell died peacefully on June 3, 2024, at age 99, leaving behind a legacy as complex and layered as his characters. Ulrich Böer, born August 26, 1918, portrayed Pleasence, a pedantic German officer in the Great Escape at age 45. Known for his knack in playing bureaucratic roles, Böer's career was ironically shadowed by off-screen controversies rarely discussed. His ventures into risque 1970s comedies sparked rumors of scandalous affairs with younger actresses, breeding jealousy and whispered warnings in German theatrical circles. Although never formally implicated, his rumored volatile temper and occasional public outbursts during rehearsals contributed to a reputation for being difficult and capricious. His family life was reportedly strained by repeated absences and accusations of emotional coldness, with close friends recounting long periods of isolation. Despite his long career, Böer battled inner demons, including a secret gambling addiction that nearly ruined him financially. He died on September 18, 1996, at age 78, leaving a legacy entwined with both artistic respect and whispered scandal. Robert Desmond, born December 16, 1922, played Griffith, the tailor, in The Great Escape, 1963, at age 41. Griffith was quiet, precise, and indispensable, crafting disguises that were vital to the Pouse breakout plan. Desmond's career was steady but unremarkable beyond British TV roles, yet behind this calm exterior hid struggles with typecasting and being overshadowed by bigger stars, which frustrated him deeply. His personal life was far from peaceful. Rumors circulated about a bitter, secretive divorce that shattered his reserved public image, leaving him estranged from his only child. Friends whispered of Desmond's bouts with alcoholism and depressive episodes, which worsened after his career stalled in the 1970s. He was said to be difficult on set, often clashing quietly with directors over his desire for deeper roles, yet never outspoken enough to demand change. Desmond died in 2002, aged 79, from complications linked to long-term liver disease, a somber end to a man who carried his scars behind a quiet smile. George Mikell, born April 4, 1929, played Lieutenant Dietrich, a sharp, instinctive German officer in The Great Escape at age 34. Mikell's character was a vital presence, sharp-eyed and calculating, embodying the ruthlessness of the regime. Off-camera, Mikell's smooth, multilingual career belied turbulent private chapters marked by intense struggles with identity and acceptance as an immigrant actor. Though never publicly scandalized, insiders spoke quietly of his controlling nature, often manipulating casting decisions to favor himself, which bred resentment among peers. His personal life was marred by a tempestuous marriage that ended acrimoniously, with allegations of emotional abuse and infidelity surfacing years after. Additionally, Mikell was rumored to have hidden a long-standing battle with alcohol, which he carefully concealed to maintain his professional reputation. He passed away from natural causes on May 12, 2020, aged 91, a man whose polished exterior masked a life of complex personal conflict. Lawrence Montaigne, born February 26, 1931, portrayed Heinz, a Canadian POW and part of the diversion team in The Great Escape at age 32. While his on-screen role was minor, Montaigne's life was anything but ordinary, marked by hidden turmoil beneath his Renaissance man image. His career highs in sci-fi and stage hit a string of failed relationships and public battles with depression. Montaigne's attempts at novel writing and screenwriting often collided with personal insecurities and repeated professional rejection, feeding his private battles with self-worth. His marriages ended in scandalous divorces with allegations of emotional abuse and infidelity, stirring whispers that contrasted sharply with his public persona of charm and intellect. Friends revealed episodes of substance abuse, including alcohol and prescription drugs, which led to erratic behavior and professional unreliability. Montaigne died on March 17, 2017, aged 86, leaving behind a complex legacy of artistic talent clouded by personal demons. Tom Adams, born March 9, 1938, played Dynamo, the lively member of the diversions team in The Great Escape at just 25. His character's mischievous energy belied a real-life battle with insecurity and destructive relationships. Adams's early charm hid years of self-sabotage fueled by a volatile temper and substance abuse. Though successful in spy films and TV ads, his career was punctuated by missed roles and public fallouts, including a notorious on-set fight that led to a temporary blacklist in the industry. His personal life was equally chaotic, marked by a scandalous divorce and multiple affairs that alienated his children. Sources close to Adams revealed bouts of depression and loneliness masked by charisma, leading to frequent hospitalizations for alcoholism and health complications. He passed away on December 11, 2014 at 76 from prostate cancer, his final years clouded by regret and estrangement. Heinz Weiss, born June 12, 1921, portrayed Kramer, a disciplined German officer, in The Great Escape at age 42. Weiss's role embodied the stiff, rule-bound soldier, but his off-screen life revealed a tangled web of emotional repression and domestic turmoil. Married to dancer Elfriede Willer, their union was fraught with infidelity and volatile arguments, leading to a bitter, low-profile separation later on. Weiss was notorious for his icy professionalism, masking a temper that flared violently behind closed doors, making him feared by colleagues who accused him of bullying younger actors. Career-wise, his typecasting as stern military men trapped him, resulting in missed opportunities and growing resentment. Despite public respect, insiders exposed his alcoholism and an addiction to prescription drugs to numb chronic pain and emotional isolation. Weiss died on November 20, 2010 at 89 from complications linked to heart disease, leaving behind a reputation of hidden scars beneath a disciplined facade. Who is your favorite character in The Great Escape? How do you feel knowing that the actors have passed away? Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss future videos. Thank you so much.